It's me and Connor.
What?
Connor and me. We love talking Yankees, so grab a
Come
seat.
on.
New York at heart. We rep BX. Chat about the team with no BS. It's Captain's Convos. 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 Captain's Convos.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of Captain's Corner. I'm Ryan here with my co-host Connor. We have a very special guest today, Jacob. How are we doing today?
Hey man, I'm doing great, and I just want to let you know that intro is going to go triple platinum in my car. I was bumping with it, man. That was fantastic.
It always puts a smile on my face.
I was sitting here, I was just geeking, man. I was like, man, this is great.
It's already gone triple platinum in our car, so we do appreciate that.
Yeah,
it's a Ryan original right there.
Yeah, top 1% of listeners right here.
There you go.
I love that. But yeah, I mean, let's get right into it. So first off, quick touch on today's hockey game. U.S. goes for gold. They win it against Canada. Did you watch the whole game, most of the game?
Yeah. I woke up early to actually watch the game, which was like, if you would have told, because I've recently gotten into hockey maybe 3-4 years ago, because it's the only sport I watched that I've never played.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you know what? I'm going to see if I like this sport. So I started getting into it. So if you would have told me 5 years ago that I'd be waking up at like 7 o'clock to watch a hockey game, I would have called you crazy. Right. But I did. It was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I was super nervous throughout the entire game because, they were just dominating possession.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, we scored the goal. We scored when it mattered. If you're not first, you're last.
Yeah.
And we may be a tooth missing, but we're a gold medal up. So that's what really matters. So, and it was Jack Hughes. It was great, man.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like you said, it was crazy. Canada, because I'm a hockey casual. Like I love the Islanders and I try to watch as much as I can. Don't watch it nearly as much as like baseball and basketball. But I think even if you've never watched hockey and you saw that game, I feel like every time US got the puck, it was just flipping it down to the other side, getting it out. And then Canada would just be on the attack. So like that whole game, yeah, like my body was clenched and like, the history between U.S. and Canada, that was incredible. I think it's been since 1980 that we've won gold in hockey. So
yeah, Miracle on Ice, 46 years.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's a long. It's historic. It's awesome just to see. And then you had the Four Nations face-off last year, so there was all the drama from that. There was 3 fights in the first 9 seconds.
It's crazy.
You had two sets of brothers on the same U.S. team. There was a lot of emotions going into the game, and I'm just really happy to see the U.S. pull away with it. It was really cool to see that moment.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I will say, if you want a good laugh, go in the comment section on Instagram of any post about them winning. Just roasting Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really had a good time just reading through them.
You gotta love that. You really do.
Yeah, it's just so funny. Like, enjoy becoming the 51st state and like shit like that. It was just
America's hat, Well, hey, the men's and the women's both.
Yeah, both.
I was working at a trade show down in Orlando, and they were showing it up on a big TV. It was a 100,000 person trade show. And they were showing the game up on this TV, and there was a bunch of us standing there, not even working the booth. We didn't even care anymore. and it was like it was in overtime, and they scored, and the whole place went crazy. Just all of us there in our polos and lanyards and everything. It was insane. So yeah, took the sport from them, I guess. So that was really cool.
Sir.
I love that. Yeah, Connor, not to put you on blast. I know that. Listen, you're patriotic, but I think you didn't watch the game, right?
No, I honestly didn't. When Ryan was texting in our group chat about about the game, I had no idea what you were talking about. I was like, it's like 8 a.m. Like, why are you blowing up the group chat right now? I didn't even know the game was going on.
I knew the game was today. I totally didn't realize it was starting at like 8:15. Like I
just assumed it was going to be late.
Me too, for some reason. And then, but yeah. So Connor, I'll pull this up. This is This is us winning the game. In case you wanted to. Wait, let me see if I can add this.
Like McKinnon on the Canadian side, he was asked, and of course this is all not the full interview or anything, but the tidbit that they took out was like, he was like, "Well, I'll let you determine who was the better team." Right. So then that fuels the fire of like, well, who ended up winning the gold, right?
Yeah.
You just get all this fire and you got all these people going after each other with it. I mean, I posted my own share of memes as well in the comments like you were talking about earlier. So it's all in good fun.
Got
Yeah,
it. Absolutely. So yeah, just had to watch that. Go US. I think it's over now, the Olympics. So I mean, was it Norway just swept the board with it? But I mean, that's what they do. They live and breathe snow sports. So I feel like just US to even be up there, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah. Most gold medals ever won by the U.S. in the Olympics, in the Winter Olympics, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think they broke, because it was like 10, and they broke it whenever, I think it was Alyssa Liu, the figure skater. I may not be right, but I remember she had won, and then I saw like, oh, it's the most gold medals ever. And I think it ended up with 12 or something. So
yeah, I think we had 12. Was it Netherlands or Norway had 18?
I think so.
And they're born with skis. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
It's not fair.
Yeah.
We grow up playing like baseball, basketball. They grow up just snowboarding, hockey, like all this stuff. So
yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. So what have you thought? Let's get into the Yankee talk. What have you thought so far of just like, I guess we can take it back to the off season a little bit, because something we have on our list is Judge's comments. And I think people kind of blew up the first part a little bit, but we can talk about it as a whole. He basically said in the beginning of the off season, he was kind of like, whoa, like a lot of guys are getting picked up and like, we're not making our team any better. I think he was alluding to like Belly, like not coming off the board for a very long time until late. And then we finally got him. And he said, once we got our guys back, he was excited for the season. But yeah, what did you kind of think of our Yankees off season? Did you expect more? Did you expect less, or kind of what did you think about it?
Yeah. I mean, that's a good question. I mean, in terms of his comments, I get it. Right. I mean, he's the captain of the New York Yankees. He's the bridge between the fan and the organization, I believe. He's really what exhibits that land bridge there. And you're right. I think it was mostly about picking up Belly. He was internally, reportedly, a big person in support of, hey, we need to sign him again. I think a lot of that ended up being the Boris effect. Of trying to squeeze out as much money as possible. And then you had to also wait for some of the dominoes to fall, with Tucker getting picked up to an insane contract, by the way.
Crazy.
And then Bo Bichette and Alex Bregman, and I guess some of the more coveted pieces, and then that helped shape the market. But I get it. I mean, if I was a player and as a fan, I'm like, okay, we need to start making some moves here, and then you start getting nervous. But I think the important part was the end of what he said. He's like, but now we've picked up the guys that I think we need. I think we're in a good position to win moving forward. So I think he's really just recognizing, like, yeah, you were frustrated. I was frustrated too. The process sucks. He's been through the process, of free agency, and he came out a whole lot richer with it. But yeah, he was just acknowledging, like, hey, we understand that you guys were kind of frustrated with this, but I think we're in a good position moving forward. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that was nice to hear. I mean, from him, just someone in the organization to acknowledge that. 'Cause I know a lot of us fans were thinking the same thing. But yeah, are you excited to run it back? Are you happy with the team?
Yeah, so I don't know. That's a good question. So for me, it's, if you look at the stats and the metrics. I mean, if you look at runs, OPS, OBP, we were third, but runs, OPS, home runs, double baggers. I mean, we were one of, if not one of the top offenses in the sport whenever it comes to our lineup throughout the season. Now you have, okay, well, we died in the postseason. And then you're like, okay, and you start thinking about data sets, and you're like, okay, well, is that amount of games that we played enough of a data set to say, okay, well, should we not run it back to the next season? So, I mean, who would have thought that Judge would have batted 500 last postseason? I mean, I think a
Mhm.
lot of it comes to timing, a lot of it comes to vibes, unfortunately. And I hate to say you're kind of rolling the dice into the postseason, but now that we have the extended playoff format, things get a little bit more dicey. And you think about the Dodgers and all that they've picked up and all the stars they had, and that this is even before they picked up Tucker, and the Blue Jays were this close to
Inch,
beating them.
an inch
Yeah.
away, an
So
IKF run.
they
Yeah.
were there then, and with it's random and it's crazy, and as much as I love it, they with baseball they are beatable. You
Mhm.
know, it takes the right team, the right players at the right time to perform.
Mhm.
And I think from a lineup perspective, I think we have the potential for that. I get a little bit more worried about the pitching.
Mm.
I wish we would have picked up a little bit more there. We have people coming back, but I get a little nervous about a couple of guys coming off of surgery, shaking the wrist off, and being ready for the postseason. But those guys coming off are some pretty hard nosed players, so we'll just have to see.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Cole, I think, and Rodon are both ahead of schedule.
Hmm.
So it'll be interesting if they get a little bit of an earlier start, if they're more ready for the postseason, what they look like coming back. Yeah, I do think our rotation, strangely, does feel a little deeper than the start of last year.
Yeah,
When we had Cookie Carrasco and Stroman,
yeah.
even if it's our young guys, I do like the pitching a little more, although it is mostly the same.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. Because last year we were all reeling because Garrett Cole was gone, and we didn't know how Max Fried would perform in pinstripes.
Yeah,
And I mean, he had some good years in Atlanta, but he also had some postseason failures there. But yeah, I mean, with Lagrange, and then we got Ben Hess coming up, and Chase Hampton, Cam Schlittler continuing. I mean, we've got a really. I tweeted about it earlier today. Just think if like two of those guys hit,
Mhm.
find consistent success, and then you have Garrett Cole coming back, Carlos Rodon coming back. Let's say that they get back to 80 or 90% of back of what they were, Max Fried. Uh, that's a rotation. That's
yeah,
scary. That's scary good. So I think we'll be good there. And then the bullpen's always a mishmash. You know,
Mhm.
but you gotta let Matt Blake cook. Let's see what happens.
yeah,
We always figure it
yeah,
out. Yeah. And yeah, I could see like Lagrange, like I mean, his stuff is disgusting. That there was like a 3 pitch sequence where he's like 103 up high, swing and miss. Then like this disgusting changeup that just drops from like the eyes to the knees at like 80 something, and then another like 102. I think like yeah, if he can get some time in the bigs, and then by the postseason he's like a nice bullpen piece where it's like, all right, we need a big inning out of someone. Let's go to the guy that can throw 103. I think that's always nice. And yeah, we somehow always figure it out. Like relievers, for some reason, it feels like when we get the big reliever, they don't pan out. But then we get some guy from the Rail Riders or like some random trade where we always just kind of figure it out with the bullpen. So I'm very excited. And then just to touch on what you said earlier, like who would have thought Judge would bat 500 this last postseason? Me and Connor have talked about it a little bit, but like the postseason before that, Judge doesn't show up. The rest of the team does. Stanton and Soto were incredible. The next year, Judge bats 500, and the rest of the team's looking at like a 180 average, and like I think Volpe and Grisham combined for 26 strikeouts. So it's like you hear a lot of the fans talk about Cashman and like putting the right roster together, but it always comes down to the postseason. Like, will we perform? Will we not? So I think every season it's just get to the postseason, and like you said, it's vibes, it's runs, it's who's hot. So but yeah, you just see too many people like upset about Cashman not making this big move, Cashman this, Cashman that. I think he always puts together such a good product, but I'm not a Cashman hater, I don't think.
Yeah. I mean, and that's fair. I mean, I wouldn't call myself a Cashman hater either. I mean, I will call out that there's some moves that have been really bad in the past.
Mhm.
I mean, Josh Donaldson was not a great move. I mean, but stuff like that. So
Mhm.
there's been things that have actively hurt us, but we do consistently make it to the postseason.
Like we have a chance every year, yeah.
We have a chance every year, and now as a Yankee fan, everyone says that's not enough, right?
Mhm.
We have to win World Series. If you don't win a World Series, then it's a failure. And with a sport that has parody like baseball. That's a lot of failure, but I think we
Mhm.
have a good chance every season, or we have for a good while now.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean it's tough. I mean, once you get into the postseason, it's an entirely different monster. Because I mean, if you think of the Blue Jays, right? I mean, they owned us for the majority of the season last season, but their OPS was higher than the 2017 Astros that knew which pitch was coming.
Mhm.
How does that happen?
And they had
That's how on fire they were.
and
And
they
I'm
had
not.
guys that weren't hitting all season that just in the postseason, like Clement and
Yeah.
um, and then and yeah, like just things bouncing the right way. There was that one play, I forget the Dodgers left fielder, they both like dive backwards. The fact that they were able to hold on to that ball, and then like the inning later, IKF is out by a fraction of a hair. Like that's a Blue Jays team who no one really had projected to be great. Like
Mm.
before the season, you never would have thought the Blue Jays were gonna be that close to winning the World Series. So
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I remember going into the season, making a joke, which kind of made me eat my words. Like their big move in the postseason was putting cup holders in their stadium, right? And then they proceed to own us all season because
it's almost
a lot of that was just matchup. We did not match up well against them. I mean, that they played high contact ball.
Mhm.
They BIP'd us to death, and we just defensively would break down against them. I mean,
I
and it
still
didn't.
I still see you Savage's splitter in my nightmares sometimes.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Like
Yeah.
we couldn't you'd think he was throwing a wiffle ball the way we were just not touching that pitch. It was
Yeah. And
unbelievable.
who would have thought Gossman would have owned us,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, we usually hit him, and then we're swinging first pitch and can't even make contact. And
Mhm.
I feel like it was a timing thing and definitely a matchup thing. They just had the right set of players that like shut our guys down throughout the season, which gets kind of scary because you're like, all right, we're bringing the same kind of players
It's
back,
really bad.
Yeah.
right? But now, I mean, there's a season of learning behind that, but we'll just have to see. I think that the Blue Jays, and this will be a hot take maybe, were one of the most drastically overperforming teams of the year last year, and I think they're still going to be good. They'll probably still make the postseason, but I think they will regress a little because I just don't think that amount of success with that group of players is entirely sustainable year over year.
Mhm.
But they will still be good. I mean, they've got star power. I mean, they've got great hitters. They've got great players, but I don't think that they're going to be quite as dominant as they were.
I could see that for sure.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, they didn't have Bichette for most of the offseason anyway, but it'll be interesting to see what they're like without one of their star players. Did you guys see some of the videos of Bichette playing third for the Mets? What were your
Yeah,
guys' thoughts on that?
dude's a Gold Glover, man.
It's almost more interesting to see them post these things. Like, forget that he's even like missing these baseballs, but like to like take the video and then put it up like as the Mets and like have reporters kind of posting this stuff. It's interesting. I don't know. It almost looked like his glove was like not broken in at all. Like I don't know, like
Yeah,
the way the ball was coming into the mitt, but it wasn't a good look. I will say that.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like he's learning a new position in spring training. You're practicing, but yeah, just to like post the clips, it's just
Fielding
interesting.
it looked
Interesting choice.
yeah. I actually didn't think about that. I was having too much fun, kind of making fun of it. I mean, believe me,
Yeah,
I'm making fun of it with the understanding like this is spring training. People are going to suck for a little bit. It's been a little while. He's got to lose some pounds. Obviously, he's been
yeah.
eating.
yeah,
Uh, but yeah, I honestly didn't think like who's posting this.
yeah.
I mean, so and who decided it was like, oh yeah, Bichette's looking great here. It's like this is a step. It's a step in the process. This will motivate him. Like,
Right.
what are you
The
doing?
fans are gonna want to see this.
Yeah. Maybe not our fans, but some group of fans.
Yeah, the other 30 something teams.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Yeah,
That was interesting.
that was very interesting. And then another thing I want to ask about is, and I saw a John Boy video. I was talking to Connor about this, but Jazz saying that he's going for a 50-50 season. I saw John Boy say it, and I agree with this opinion. It's like, yeah, I mean, Jazz isn't going to say, "Hey, I'm going to try to hit 15 homers and steal 25 bases." It's like, no, it's Jazz Chisholm Jr. He's going to say he's going for a 50-50 season. But I guess I kind of want to ask you guys, like, how close do you think he can get to that realistically? Because I think his first however many games with the Yankees, he was like close to a 40-40, if not like, and
Yeah,
he's a great player, but
I
50
think in
is crazy.
I think in a season plus 10 games, I think it's been 172 games, and I'll have to
Yeah,
fact check this. He's 40-49. I think it's 40 home runs and 49 stolen bases,
that's
give
not
or
far
take a
off.
few. Do I think it's possible? Sure. I mean, with the Yankees, he's got like an over 800 OPS. He's been a monster for us. The big thing is, can he stay healthy?
Hmm.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's number one. If he stays healthy, that's going to be great. But ever since he's joined the Yankees, and I remember that first series he was with us whenever we were playing Philly, and he just completely owned him for that. So I'm like, okay,
Hmm.
this is something special. It's like he's been a different player than he's been throughout his career. I think his overall OPS is like maybe 770 or something, which is more middling. But yeah, I mean, do I think it's possible? Sure. I mean, he could go nuclear. That would be fantastic. I think he has the athleticism. I think he has the power, the speed, the swag, or whatever. I mean, he can do it.
Hmm.
Is it probable? Probably not.
Yeah,
I would be happy with another 30-30. If he gets a 40-40, I'm ecstatic.
Yeah,
absolutely.
exactly.
So,
Yeah. What do you guys think of he was saying he wants an 8 to 10 year contract, 35 mil AAV.
I did see that too, and John Boy also said like, yeah, sure, he should want $1 billion. Like
yeah.
I guess in terms of like the quotes, it's like his mindset. So like I appreciate the mindset, but like actually thinking about that contract, it's crazy. Do I think it's out of the question with like some of the contracts we saw this offseason? Probably not if he gets close to another 40-40. Like
Hmm.
it's not Scott Boras could do it for him, I feel like. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Maybe. I mean, yeah. I mean,
He
you
does
got to think.
have a contract.
I mean, positionally, he's a second baseman. So I mean,
Mhm.
it's not a. I mean, he could play multiple places, but
Yeah.
right now he's a second baseman. So I mean, I wouldn't call that premium, but maybe, hell, maybe. I mean, Bellinger just got a 33 or $35 million contract, and he's 5 years older.
So yeah,
Yeah.
you never know.
I mean, he may have more demonstrated seasons of success. He's a World Series winner. He's an MVP winner and all that. But he's 5 years older, so who
Mhm.
knows? Who knows what Jazz can get in the offseason? I still can't believe Kyle Tucker got $60 million.
Yeah.
I don't get that. So I think people are. I think that the reaction of, oh no, he'll never get that. 160 over five years, or he can walk. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Mhm.
I think people are going to be surprised by how much he gets. Is it what he's asking for? Maybe, maybe not. But it may not be far off. I guess it depends on the suitors and the whole bidding war process and stuff.
What did Bichette get? Like 40 something a year?
Yeah. What was it? 3 years? Was it 43 mil a year or something like
Something
that?
like that.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think it was more per year than Judge, and that gave me heartburn. Yeah.
Judge is the greatest value contract of all time,
It's
potentially.
gotta be. It's aging so nicely.
Yeah.
Aging incredibly. It's unbelievable. And that just shows kind of his loyalty and who he is as a person, I think. And yeah, that Arson Judge tweet, I think that forever will have me. That was great. I literally, my heart, I was like in shambles. Like, I
Yeah.
can't believe Judge, the thought of him not being a Yankee at that, like, I don't even know how long the tweet was up for, but like, I was devastated. But yeah,
Yeah.
his contract is aging beautifully. It's unbelievable. I
Yeah.
think, I think 30 or yeah, 40 is the new 30. I think we're only going to see these contracts go up. I mean, what the lockout will do, I think that's going to be obviously a big kind of play in that, but we'll
Yeah.
kind of see how that
I
goes.
mean, are we going to get a cap? Are we going to get a floor?
Exactly.
Uh, yeah. So maybe those questions need to be answered first before, we're like, okay, well, how much is this player really worth? Well, that may be determined by what the new market says, right? I would hate to be a player going into my free agency going into this year.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's tough.
yeah.
And what are your thoughts on that? Do you think it would be more beneficial to have a cap or to have a floor? Like, do you want to see teams that aren't spending have to spend more, or would you rather see teams like the Dodgers not really be able to do what they've been doing?
I'm seeing it from both sides of the coin, and I'm trying to get out of my Yankee fan head a little bit.
Mhm.
Um, do I understand the gripe of smaller teams? Like, let's say I'm a Pirates fan or a Rays fan or a Rockies fan, God forbid, or something like that. I can see the frustration where you're like, well, the Yankees and the Mets and the Dodgers and like these are the teams that only have a chance because they're throwing so much money at it. But then you're like, you think of the parity of the game too, and this is the first dynasty we've had in 25 years. I mean, in the midst of the Dodgers. I mean, they've won, the last couple, and if they would, or no, the last three. Yeah. So, yeah. So with the parity of the game, that who knows? I mean, whenever it becomes about the financial aspect of like Guggenheim and the Dodgers being like a $700 billion organization, and them basically having limitless pockets, I think something has to be done there. And then whenever you get into the deferment aspect and other teams not having the ability to take that on, maybe there should be some regulations there. But whenever it comes to a cap and a floor, I think we're good where we are. If anything, maybe a floor would help kick some of the manager or kick some of the like lower owners out that just never even want to have a chance to win, right? So
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. You got to be smarter than me to figure that out, but um, I do think that there is a problem. I just don't know the solution for it yet.
No,
Yeah,
that's
I do think I'm very much along the same line of thinking. I think a floor and a deferment cap would be kind of the solution that both sides could go for.
mhm.
Um, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I'd love to see a team like the A's like keep this awesome kind of young group they have. Like they got Kirch, they got Lawrence Butler, you have Brent Rooker. Like I'd love to see that become like a dominant team. But like teams like that, I feel like once they get players that start performing, it's like all right, go sign elsewhere for that huge contract. And then
Yeah,
it's like
They have extended a few of them.
yeah, they're starting to extend a few. Yeah, so
who did they? Oh no, Jacob Wilson, right? Their shortstop. They just locked up for a bit. That was cool to see.
I
Him, I
think
think.
Brent Rooker too.
Yeah, and I think Lawrence Butler. I think Nick Kurtz is the only one that isn't extended.
So we need to see more teams do that, and that's good to hear. Like absolutely, because I don't know.
And that's just a risk analysis, right? I mean, they're signing. They're like, okay, well, you have this many more years until you're going to hit free agency. You could get hurt and completely, mess all that up. Do you want to sign this extension? It may be less money long term, but you're going to be getting paid now, right?
Mhm.
So, I mean, that's the whole thought process that they're moving with there. So, uh, but the Yankees don't extend anybody. You
No.
know, if it
Mhm.
was me, I would have been in contract extension talks with Jazz as soon as we traded for him. You
Yeah.
know, because I mean, the potential's always been there. I mean, like, yeah, there maybe he gets injured and stuff, but that would have kept you having to spend what he's asking for, maybe. So, but it's up to them to want to be extended too, just like it's up to the players to want to do deferments.
Mhm.
Uh, why doesn't anyone on the Yankees want to defer to play for the Yankees, right? I mean, that gets into a whole other set of questions. So.
Mm.
Mhm.
What were your thoughts on the Grisham contract? Because he
Mm,
kind of blocks out. I'm kind of along the lines of wanting to see Dominguez get more consistent play. Although he did get a lot of at bats last year. Jones, I mean, I know his home run was his only hit, but when he connects, man, I'm like bring him
mm.
up right now. So, what are your thoughts on the Grisham contract and kind of Jones and Dominguez being in the wings?
Yeah, man. I mean, I know with Jones and Dominguez, I think Dominguez hasn't gotten a fair shake yet. I think there's still a lot to be unlocked there. Is it as a switch hitter? I don't know. I think he could possibly. I mean, that of course that increases his value. He's got to figure out his fielding.
Yeah,
Um, and if there's anything I want him focusing on the majority of his attention, during training, is his fielding. Uh,
Mhm.
Spencer Jones. I mean, you get echoes of Aaron Judge there. The
yeah,
Mhm.
height, the stature, the power.
Yeah.
Now, to make that comparison is completely unfair,
Yeah.
right? But you get those echoes. With Grisham, there's two sides of the coin there. I mean, it's it was say $20 million, and that's a lot of money for 1 year. And some people could say that boxed us out and maybe signing other people. Whenever I saw how much Kyle Tucker got signed for. I'm like, there was no way in hell we were doing that.
Yeah.
But uh, if in that vein, if you think about all the other outfielders that were signed and just all the other contracts that were signed over free agency this year and the value of those, and if you can, I did a tweet maybe 3-4 weeks ago comparing the war of all the players that were signed over the offseason and what their contract was. It's really not that bad of a value. I mean, if you look at the other teams and the signings that happened now internally, we could have probably gone cheaper and been like, okay, Grisham, you had a great year with us. We may have unlocked something with you. Your under the hood metrics look great, but we're going to go the direction of our core. And I think some people would have been happy with that, and it could have been successful. I think where my main rub is it's good to have backup options,
Mhm.
but we can't keep holding on to these prospects if we're not going to give them a fair shake. If we're going to hold on, if we're not going to play them, we have to trade them for pieces that we need.
Mhm.
Um, because at a certain point, you have players that are just rotting in the minors. I
Right.
mean, Dominguez, he's still young. We still got plenty of time with him. But I mean, it's like Aaron Judge. He was so old whenever he had come up.
It's 25.
Yeah, I mean, it's astounding that he has the numbers that he does at the
Yeah.
time that he had come up. So,
Mhm.
um, I think that we do prospect hug a little bit because they're like, okay, well, we might need this as a backup option and all the injuries and that kind of stuff, but they could easily be flipped for other players that we need, at the trade deadline or something too.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
I do think that target is on both of those players back at the trade deadline this season, depending on injuries, because there's going to be injuries. There's going to be a pitcher that gets hurt. There's going to be players that
Mhm.
get hurt. We're going to need players at the trade deadline, and there's going to be a target on Dominguez, Spencer Jones, maybe LaGrange. I mean, our pitching core that we were just talking about to fill those gaps. So maybe that's the thought process, but we'll just have
Mhm.
to see.
Yeah, and Dominguez is interesting too because I agree he didn't get a fair shake, but I think he had a good enough. I mean, he had a solid like professional level season last year, and so I mean, I see a lot of fans talk about like how his value's going down. I think it's mostly like fans of other teams, but like he's 22 years old and he just had I think he played like 100 something games. He had a pretty good like stat line. Like you said, the fielding wasn't great. He had quite a bit of mishaps out there, so you do want to see him work on that. But I think his value is as high as it's like been basically. But then Jones, yeah, it's tough. Like I think he's turning 25 soon. Has never seen a major league at bat. So I agree. I think if the Yankees injury dependent, I think if we're in a good spot at the deadline, I think this year has to be where we say, hey, all right, Jones and Dominguez or like any of these other prospects, like they're out there, we're fielding offers. Because if Cole's playing well, if we have that rotation that we're dreaming of and they're all playing well, I think you have to kind of go all in a sense this year. Um, yeah. Yeah, and then the Grisham stuff is tough too, because I agree. If Grisham plays like he did last year, the 20 mil it's the best contract of the offseason, easily.
Yeah.
If he can even just repeat what he did last year. My thing, and I think me and Connor have talked about this quite a bit, is like I just don't see Grisham repeating it, unfortunately. I really hope he does, obviously. I'm rooting for I want Volpe to hit 300 home runs this season. I just don't think Grisham he'll always be good defensively. I just can't see him having the same offensive season. I don't know, something about it. But.
Yeah, I get it, and I mean that's a fair criticism because I mean if you look at his previous seasons, he's been not a good hitter.
Yeah.
Now I mean if you look at his underlying metrics and under the hood type stuff, it was like something switched. Where I mean, and you can look at the differences of his at bats as a Padre and as a Yankee, and his mechanics have changed. There was some kind of change there. Whenever he got to the Yankees, it was like kind of at the end towards of 2024 when Juan Soto was here. It was like there was something that changed in his mechanic, and then he brought that through in the last season, and it's like okay, well, maybe this is a real change, but there just hasn't been that consistent history of to be dependent upon of success with him. So, I mean, it's fair to criticize it, but it's all going to be a wait and see type
Exactly.
thing. Like, is this something that he can consistently do? And who's to say that a pitcher doesn't figure something out with him, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean,
Mhm.
he's got this new swing, he's got this new thing that he's doing. So, um, and there was some issues with his defense a little bit last year. He took a step back. Of course, he had
Mhm.
the hamstring injury, but he is starting to get a little bit older now, so there is
Mhm.
some issue. He's not the defensive. He's not a platinum tier defender anymore. He
Mhm.
might still be gold. Um, so that you got to put that in consideration as well. I don't know. I mean, I wasn't as mad about the Grisham contract as a lot of people were. I thought, yeah, okay, fine, you
Mhm.
know. But I'm just hoping as we get to the trade deadline, you're like you said, some decisions are made what we're going to do with these prospects. If Grisham isn't performing, put him in there.
Mhm.
If he is performing and we have needs elsewhere on the team, get the prospects out of here. We need players because
Mhm.
if they're not going to see the field, what's the point, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
they'll probably want to move too, so they can play in the majors somewhere,
Yeah.
right?
Get a nice contract somewhere else.
Yeah.
Now, I do have a question now. If Stanton, he has an injury history and some phantom IL history. If he's out for a large portion of the season, do you think it's possible we see Spencer Jones this year? Or do you think we keep him tucked away just to keep his trade value up? We don't let him see major league pitching just in case he doesn't do well.
Mm. Yeah, I mean that's a good question. I think it may depend on the time of year. If it's closer to the trade deadline, they may keep him tucked away, depending on when and if or when Stanton gets hurt. If he gets hurt closer to the trade deadline, they may keep Spencer Jones away. To like, okay, this is your mystery box. If it's after the
Mm.
trade deadline, I think they're going to play him.
Mhm.
If it's at the beginning of the season, I think they'll play him. But I think as the closer we get to that trade deadline, I think they're going to want to be like, okay, we've got this really potentially valuable mystery box here with this freaking 6'6", 6'7" player that looks like Aaron Judge. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah, that's the best way I could probably think they'd go about that strategy. But
Did you guys see the video? I mean, this is every time, but again, Stanton running to first in spring training. I just love how they say the word running. And I think I replied to a tweet and I'm like, I don't know if he's actually trying to run and his body doesn't allow him, or he's just jogging. I would love to ask him that. I want someone to ask him, are you exerting your body enough to where you're trying to sprint, or is there not, you know what I mean? Because I feel like his body actually might not allow him to. So is it that, or is it just like, hey, I'm running, but he's just jogging? I don't know, and I'd love to find that out.
we need to zoom in on his face just to see like if
Just to
he's
see,
like
like,
running
oh,
like a sprinter, but he's just going super slow.
It seems like
Yeah.
he's pretty calm. Like his feet, it doesn't seem like he's trying, but also like some of these instances in the game, it's like if there was ever a time for Stan to sprint, it's like now it is, and nope, just I don't know.
It could be something where like a doctor was like, "Hey man, just never sprint again because
Yeah, you won't get hurt.
so you won't get hurt." Which I mean, fine, but
Keep hitting home runs, I guess.
yeah, just keep hitting bombs, man. But I mean, he came to spring training a little bit skinnier. He's skinny Stanton again, right? So
He
Yeah.
is. Yeah, he looks
I feel like
very
that's every spring training.
yeah,
He looks
So-
different, and then it's just the same.
yeah. Did he play in the field any last year? I feel like I remember him playing in the field.
I think like 5 games. It wasn't a lot.
But he
Yeah.
didn't look bad. He did not
He
look
didn't
bad.
when he did.
Yeah.
He
I
didn't
remember
really
just
get
watching-
much.
I just remember just watching him catch a ball, and I was like, "That's my Gold Glove defender."
There he is.
Yeah.
Put him at shortstop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I love Stanton to death. He's got a great personality. His entire time with the Yankees, he's been entirely accountable for his successes, for his failures. And if he has to jog like my 87-year-old grandfather to first base, so be it.
Absolutely. I'm with
Hey,
you.
if he can hit 120 miles per hour, we'll take it.
Do what you want. Walk to first
Do what
base.
you want. Walk. Yeah, walk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, each pod we've kind of brought up. Usually, it's a past Yankee. We'll just watch random highlights. This one, since it's February 22nd, I thought that we would watch some Mr. Ben Rice highlights.
Oh yeah.
I think personally, it's him and Cam Schlittler that I'm most excited to see this season in terms of performing in general, and then like taking a step up. Very excited about those two.
Yeah. You talk about under the hood metrics, just a superstar that had a lot of unlucky at bats last season. Ben Rice, man.
Insane. It had to be the unluckiest hitter in baseball. Like, I don't know what that one graphic is, but it shows like barrel rate, like exit velo. His stuff is all red. Like,
Yeah, through Savant. And
yeah, it might as well be Barry Bonds the way he hits baseballs. It's unbelievable.
all he hits is piss missiles. And like, they might be directly into the webbing of someone else's glove, but it's
that was the issue last year. He would. I can't tell you how many times watching games he off the bat you're like, yeah, and then it's just right at the right fielder, and it gets to him like that. So you're like, damn, he ripped that thing. It's just unfortunate it was right at the guy.
Yeah, I think he, by the end of this season, could be considered like maybe a top 5 first baseman in the sport.
Yeah.
I mean, if his defense works out, I mean, I'm that's one reason I'm kind of glad we pulled in Goldie, just from a mentorship type role, from that perspective. If he can be a good first baseman, he has some value to be a backup catcher if needed. Yeah, I think if his back can come together and he's even just a little like just middle of the ground unlucky versus being desperately unlucky last year, I think he's going to be huge, man. And if he has to stay healthy, If he gets hurt, if it's a hamstring, soft tissue, any kind of injury like that, and it affects his mechanics in any way, that Savant chart can go down the toilet. So we'll just see. But I'm super excited for Ben Rice.
100%. And actually, literally two of the things you said, I think Connor said like our last pod.
Yeah, we did a hot take section, and I think with Ben Rice, I said that he was going to hit 40 home runs and he was going to be a top 5 first baseman by the end of the season. So I'm so high on Ben Rice.
Didn't you say the Goldie thing too? You said you were excited for Goldschmidt to be kind of a nice little mentor piece, like. Yeah,
I mean, I think. Yeah, I think that's kind of the perfect role for him. At this point in his career. Yeah. I did not hate the signing. I saw a lot of people getting upset because we're really running back the same squad, but I mean, I think it works.
Absolutely. And then thinking of Goldie and then seeing Jacob's hat. Are we ready for the World Baseball Classic? What are we feeling about that?
Oh yeah. Yeah, man. I've got the whole schedule. I've got it like taped up on my wall. My buddies, I got a buddy from Venezuela. He's got a hat. I got an Italian friend. He's got an Italy hat. And I am just Tav, my fiance. She got me a Judge jersey and then I have this, and I am so ready for the World Baseball Classic. I'm just ready for competitive baseball to be played in. I'm excited to see Aaron Judge there as Captain America representing the country. Let's hope he continues to hit 500, because if he bats like 150, we'll never hear the end of it.
Oh my God, that's such a true statement. God forbid Judge doesn't play well. Yankee fans are going to be in the thick of it.
Oh my God,
hearing from everyone else, and oh God, yeah.
Public enemy number 1 in America, man. It'd be awful.
Good start to spring training though. 2 homers right off the rip.
Yeah. Was it 2 home runs yesterday? Yeah. Well, he went 0 for 1 today because he got walked. They're afraid to pitch to him in spring training.
I know.
Walked 3 times today, right?
Yeah.
He might get. I mean, how many times do you think he's going to get walked this year? Over 100, for sure.
Probably.
Yeah.
I think that's a lock, and that's frustrating too, because when you talk about like breaking home run records and like him putting up certain numbers again, it's almost like. I always forget about the amount of times he's going to get not unintentionally walked, but just like pitching around him. You're like, yeah, if we walk him, so what? That's got to happen like once a game at least. If there's a guy on first, they're probably thinking like, we don't want. I mean, yeah, it's so tough and it's so frustrating because I'm even thinking back to when he was chasing those records, like he just wasn't getting pitched to, and it just feels unfair. It's like you're taking history away from him because he's too good. And it was even in kind of meaningless games. Like they just didn't want to give it to him. It was kind of insane.
Yeah, back in 2022, that pissed me off too. Because yeah,
Yeah.
'cause I remember like they were always pitching around him, and then you
Mhm.
think the Cal Raleigh season last year, and then it's like they were still pitching to him. I'm like, he got
Exactly.
so close to Judge's record in the AL, and I'm like, why doesn't he get the same treatment that
Yeah.
Judge did? You know, and
Yeah.
uh, I maybe wasn't watching it close enough to see how many times he was getting walked, but if you looked at the IBB numbers between the two of them, it was night and day, right?
Yeah,
So
the end of the season, Raleigh was still. I mean, listen, he's an incredible hitter. He was still hitting bombs, but the pitches that he was seeing, Judge didn't get those toward the end of that 62 homer season. Not at all. I don't know.
mhm. It had to
What-
be a perfect storm in Texas whenever he ended up hitting that one. So I think it was like a couple players on base, and they tried to pitch around him, and he fouled off something. I forget what it was, but yeah.
What do you guys think of his quotes? He was asked, if there's anything that he worked on that he thinks he could improve on, and he said to make teams, pay for walking him. His base running and stealing bases this year is going to be something that he looks to do. What do you guys think about that quote?
I think there's like two sides to that because
Yeah.
I don't want to see Judge. God forbid something happens to our precious man because he's trying to take second base.
Keep your
But
ass at first, dude.
yeah, there's no reason to. But on that same token, he's a behemoth of a man. He's pretty quick. He's athletic. Like I don't hate the idea of him taking bases, especially if like they're not going to pay attention to him. So it's literally, and I say this with so many takes. I feel like especially recently, I just ride the middle of the fence. But I would love to see him steal bases. Don't steal bases. Like I don't know. I don't even know.
Yeah. Imagine a 50-50 season though. From Aaron Judge just shutting the haters down. I mean, and okay, 50-60 season, 60 home runs, 50 stolen. Does he
I was
have it in
gonna
him?
say,
Probably not. But I mean, I think let's just say realistically, he hits 55, 55 home runs and steals 25 bases instead of the 10 or so that he usually gets, maybe under 10. I'd be happy with that. That's like, okay, I focused on my base running. I took bases when it made sense.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, you just don't want him to get hurt. I
Yeah.
mean, he has an injury history now. A lot of them are freak injuries.
Mhm.
It's not a lot of like soft tissue things like hamstrings and all that, but uh, but yeah, sometimes he's in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah.
So
I think
yeah,
it also could be the protection he gets. If the guys behind him are hitting really well, you don't really have to. But
yeah,
if he's not getting protected and he's getting walked constantly, and then there's strikeouts, double plays, then he might say, "Hey, I gotta. This is something I worked on in spring training. Let me try to take a couple bases." So it'll be
the
interesting.
bases are bigger. Why not?
Exactly. Exactly. All right. Question. This is kind of going to Twitter, sort of, but I'm curious, kind of like how the community started, and then like kind of what's your part in it. Like, were you there from the jump, and sort of how that came to be? Because the
Oh, yeah.
Yankees empire is massive. I think there's about 40,000 members.
Yeah, that's insane for me to think about now. We just hit 40,000 members not too long ago. So the community started back in 2022. So Envy at Darth Envy on the on X now. He started the community. Him and his girlfriend Ashley. I believe I joined the community at the first 300 users, and this is whenever I had first joined Twitter again.
Mhm.
I was like, hey, I actually initially joined. The whole Jacob PM name started because I wanted to start talking professionally to people because I was a product manager, right? So that's
Mhm.
where Jacob PM came from.
Gotcha.
And I was like, okay, no one wants to talk about work. I'm gonna talk about the Yankees. And then I joined the community and just started talking about stuff. And as I got more and more entrenched in talking to different people, communicating, I just asked. I was like, hey, are you guys looking for a moderator to do this, that, and the other? And I just kind of pitched it as, hey, this is what I'm good at. This is kind of work I do. I'm in marketing. I've been in marketing for a long time. I know like the legal aspects of stuff. I know how to help grow the community and that kind of stuff. And they're like, yeah, come on in. So I mean, now at this point, we, things run really smoothly. We all bounce things off of each other. It's not like a dictatorship or anything where
Mhm.
we have one person telling other people what to do. It's really just like, hey, let's move forward with this. And yeah, I mean, we have some really cool stuff getting ready to come out now. Probably I would say the first part of March, where we'll have
Mhm.
some awesome merchandise opportunities and giveaways and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, running the community, it's a blast. I mean, there's a lot of fun stuff where we get to do the giveaways, get to make a lot of people happy, give people a platform to share their love for the Yankees, and then or find people that think similarly or differently to them, and hopefully a respectable manner. That gets into like some of the unfortunate things you find where you have people that are crazy and you have to end up banning them or whatever, or you have to go through and review all these requests to make sure there's no bots in there. So, I mean, that all takes time, but it's been a lot of time well spent. I've really enjoyed my position in the community and having people reach out to me. And I've had a lot of people say, like, hey, man, we love the work that you're doing. Thanks so much for the opportunity to win this giveaway or opportunity to speak to other Yankees fans because you got people that live in Nebraska where there's not a whole lot of Yankee fans, and that was kind of what it was like for me here in North Carolina growing up, where I was the only Yankee fan,
Mhm.
and so I was like, yeah, it was great for people to kind of find their home for their sports fandom there.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
And it honestly is incredible, like the sense of community that you feel. I mean, with Yankees Empire and then just Yankees Twitter kind of as a whole. I mean, like you guys had like a big meetup, right? Where you like saw a game in a suite last year.
yeah,
Um, and then like, yeah, there's like, I'll go to a game and like, there's people like, oh, I'm in section, whatever. I'm at the game too. It's like, all right, meet me at, and like, you're actually like, it goes from just online to like actually meeting people and like forming friendships. It's like, it's pretty incredible. And I think that's like, even Twitter as a whole, like you said, there's like disrespectful people. There's tons of negative things all over social media as a whole.
yep,
But even like Connor just started. He's going to be doing like a rap podcast, and he just started a Twitter page. And like I haven't really dabbled in it much, but I'm sure there's an awesome rap community where like soon
yeah,
enough, like he'll be talking to people like every day, like about. It's just it's a very cool part of the tool, I think. So yeah.
yeah. I mean, there for a while, I mean, X was really promoting communities, and that's kind of a big thing that we're fighting right now. Because I mean, we have constant contact with the creators and engineers over
Mhm.
that work for the company. About we're actually in a group chat with a lot of them, pitching ideas for different tools and improvements. And we've seen over the last few months where there's been kind of a pivot away from the focus on communities, and we're like, hey, we need this focus because this is why people want to get on the platform. It's like, yeah, the
Mhm.
AI stuff that you're doing with Grok is great, but people are really they find a lot of value in these communities, and there's a lot of then whenever it comes to people making money through the platform and stuff
Mhm.
too. I mean, people were finding a livelihood even
Mhm.
just from interacting in communities and sharing their takes, or really just building their own community of fans or people that wanted to follow them or their interest. So we're in constant talks trying to shift that focus back to communities now. They're not going away in any way. I know there's been rumors like, oh well, the communities might be deleted someday. I mean, we confirm that that's not happening.
That's good.
But the more focus that we get, the more opportunity we'll have to bring in more funds, to do more giveaways, to do to basically provide more benefits to the member.
That's awesome. And then yeah, going back to like you mentioned, I know you do giveaways like on your own. The community does giveaways. And then I know like I mean you're an incredible person. I've seen you like any money you make from X, you're just like I'm going to donate this to a charity. It seems like you do that frequently, which is awesome. First of all, definitely like even
Yeah, yeah.
doing that and then sharing it, just spreading that positivity. It's very cool. And then I wanted to ask like where does that come from? Like obviously it's good to innately want to be a good person and do good for others, but like does that come from somewhere? Like I don't know. I feel like not a lot of people do that, so you're definitely unique in that way. So I'm just curious.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. For me, I've been extremely fortunate in my life. I've had a lot of things given to me, and I mean, what's the best way to explain this? I mean, I'm by no means like rich or anything. Whenever it comes to donating my Twitter checks and stuff, I'm like, I don't need, these this money that's coming in. I might as well just give it to somebody who really needs it, because I'm comfortable in my job and my salary, that kind of stuff. I just I would rather it affect someone else's life in the right way. So what I would do is I'd be like, hey, comment or reply with a charity or nonprofit that you care about, and I'll randomly select it, and I would donate to that charity. And I mean, everything from animals to homelessness to cancer charities to that kind of stuff. So, I mean, in my life, where that comes from, I could probably think about one specific event. So, I mean, with me, I mean, a lot of people know that I'm a cancer survivor. If you ever look at my bio or anything, I'm very open about it. I'm an open book. For me, I mean, I was diagnosed with stage 4 Burkitt's lymphoma. So there was not a there what the prognosis wasn't great at the time whenever I was 11, and that was almost 19 years ago now. So obviously, I'm still here. I'm cancer free, so that's great.
Love that.
But throughout that process, the amount of people that came in to help, right, was very touching to me. So I mean, there were different charitable organizations so that I could have Christmases. I mean, I could have presents on Christmas that year, because my family was too busy paying 25 different accounts with the medical center. And this was all before Obamacare and all that other stuff. Like, they basically drained my entire college fund. They were ready to take the house. There was just no, they were like, okay, you can't get blood from a turnip. We can just give you, $25 on all these accounts every week. But they were ready to lose everything. So we had some different organizations step in to, at least provide some happiness there. I mean, I had Make-A-Wish that ended up making me a pool whenever I got out of chemo, which was great.
That's awesome.
And then for me, I had applied to a scholarship through Cancer for College, which I still actively support now. I work with them on their North Carolina board for fundraising and scholarship application reviewing and stuff. But if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have gone to a university, and I wouldn't have graduated, because they basically provided the scholarships for me to be able to go. So thinking back to all that's been given to me, I'm like, well, I also want to give back, because I can see how much positive change it affects, or that it'll jumpstart for people. And it selfishly makes me feel good to give back, but I just know that there's more important things than stacking my pockets and spoiling myself. I would much rather make other people happy than just selfishly doing things for myself. So I guess that's where that comes from.
Great
That's
answer.
incredible. Yeah, I mean, the world would be a lot better place if more people kind of had that mentality. So that's awesome.
I appreciate that.
Big time. Wow. I'm just taking that all in. That was awesome. Absolutely. Damn. Yeah, and honestly, it's funny because this is not, it's relevant, but not totally. You always see like videos of like people like helping out like the homeless and things like that, and you always see that comment that's like, why can't you do this and not post it? Those comments, this is just a random tangent, they drive me absolutely insane, because one, it's like, first of all, they're helping. Two, it's like that, if that doesn't spark a little positive, if you don't see that video and think like, hey, I want to go do something nice for someone,
Yeah.
like I want to go pay for this person's coffee, I want to go, then like you're the wrong person to even be commenting on that video in the first place. So that's just a random tangent, because like I see those videos all the time. I always see those comments, and it's like, oh, why can't you do it? And it drives me crazy. But that was,
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I mean, there's some. I will say that there's some influencers and creators that'll like shove the camera in the face of somebody.
that's a different,
And they're like, hey, yeah, do you want this money? And then that kind of stuff. That's wrong. But I think if someone makes like a well-intentioned like, hey, here's the story about this guy. Here's where he's from. This is, we're helping him. This is what we're trying to get him to. These are the next
Mhm.
steps, that kind of stuff. Here, we're helping him find a job, that kind of stuff. I think there's two flavors to that. But yeah,
Yes.
you're right. Believe me, I've had plenty of people in my comments of like, oh, well, why are you posting about this? It's like, well, for one, I wouldn't know what organization to donate
Yeah, you gotta
if
ask.
no one replied with what organization they cared about. So that's one thing. And then two, I've had
It's
people be like,
spreading positivity.
well, yeah. And then there's another one is like, well, why do you have cancer survivor in your bio? I was like, I don't know, maybe because it's fucking important to me. Like,
Yeah.
it's like because it doesn't define me, but I think it's something cool. It's like, and that's another like whenever I find another person that's also been through something similar to me, no matter the age, it's something I can connect with them on or whatever. And I've
Mhm.
always been an open book. Like if there's someone that's like, hey, I've just been diagnosed. I need someone to talk to that's been through it. I'm always the first person to raise my hand and be like, yep, I've done it. What do you want to talk about? How
Mhm.
can I help you type deal? So that's just kind of a way of marking like, hey, if you're going through it, somebody that's going through it, I'm open, just DM me and I'm happy to talk to you about it. So, but yeah, but there's some people that just can't be happy about anything.
No,
Yeah.
and yeah, I'm sure the people that have come at you for having that in your bio, if you go to theirs, they probably got like Red Sox hater in their bio. It's like, all right, well, what are we even talking about here?
Yeah, Red Sox hater, look at my waifu, whatever, that kind of stuff. But
Yeah, that's insane.
yeah.
Do you have any plans to catch any games this year? I mean, I know you're in North Carolina, but are you going any away games or like even coming up to New York to catch one? Or you got any plans for that?
That's a good question. I mean, I know I've gone up to New York the last 3 years to catch a game, and then I think maybe 2 years ago I went down to Tampa to catch a spring training game. I don't have any plans yet. I think it'll depend on kind of what comes up with work and everything. I
Mhm.
think for my fiance, I think she's like, hey, she's kind of done going to New York every year as one of our big vacations. She's like, yeah, I love New York, but I kind of want to go to somewhere else.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, yeah, I get it. So now I want to escape the heat this summer because it was like 150 degrees down here last summer. So I was like, let's just go to like Maine or Canada to just escape the heat or something. But I don't know. I may end up in New York anyway. I mean, just to catch a game. And if I am, I usually always let people know.
Mhm.
Whenever I land in a different state, I'm always like, New York, I'm inside of you or whatever.
Classic, yeah.
Or I did that with Orlando too, and I'm like, oh, Orlando, I'm inside of you, and it smells weird, but so people will know, whenever I'm around. It's always great to meet people from the community and put a face to like the profile picture. 'Cause not many people use their actual face, me included, Cap included,
Yeah,
like that kind of stuff. So it's cool to
Mhm.
see actual people and be like, oh, you're that person. You're shorter than I
Yeah.
thought you'd be, and that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's cool. But I'll let people know if I'm up there for sure. What
What's
about you?
the closest stadium to you?
Oh God, freaking Atlanta, I would say.
Hmm.
Uh,
That must be quite a trip.
it is. Yeah, I mean, it's over 4 hours, I would say, because so the freaking blackouts, this is what kills me. My home teams, they're for blackouts are Atlanta, which okay, that makes sense. But that's over like 400 miles away.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Then I have Baltimore, Cincinnati, Washington, and I think that's it. So Braves, Baltimore, Cincinnati, and Washington. And most of those other ones are like over 500, 600 miles away from me. I'm like, why can I not watch these games?
It-
Mm.
So now it makes sense for the Orioles a little bit because this year, like Charlotte used to be O's country. Their big minor league team used to be here. They were the Charlotte O's, like back in like the 50s, 60s, 70s. Cal Ripken Jr. used to play for Charlotte
Mhm.
before he made it up to the majors. So like I get how this is kind of Baltimore country too, but yeah, I don't understand why I'm blacked out from all these other cities that I've never even driven to or seen. So
Mm.
It's even crazy. Like the spring training game yesterday was on Gotham's. I'm honestly sick of how many different streaming services we're having
yeah,
ones on. It's like it was ridiculous last year, and then to see that I needed to download Gotham Sports app, and then it was like, a $30 subscription for like the New York's. It's actually unbelievable. Like I pray that they would just pick one, and I don't know. I guess you can just get like a certain channel, or I don't know. It drives me crazy though, because then there's a game that's on Prime, there's a game that's on Apple TV, and you're like, all right, well, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's too
I
much.
hate Apple TV games too. Like, I love the way they look, because they're super high definition.
So high definition.
I mean, they look so great, but I hate the way they sound. Like their commentators and stuff are so stupid. But I mean, yeah, because I typically watch MLB TV, right? So I have a full subscription to where I can kind of watch like that, and then I had to get an additional subscription so I could watch on MSAN for the Orioles games, but I still can't watch Cincinnati or the Braves or the Nationals. But yeah, but then you got, Prime games, you've got Peacock games now too, right? I think they have MLB on NBC now, which is going to be something, which that's not as bad. I would much rather them play on like nationally syndicated stations, kind of like the old days, right? Like where, hey, if you've got an antenna on your TV and you can go to any channel and it's just, whatever. But yeah, remember the days when we had cable and like DirecTV and stuff, and we're like, all this stuff. Yeah, we're kind of going back on that.
It was like when you were watching a show and you're like, Mom, quick, the show's on. You have to like run back in. Like that was such a special moment.
Yeah. Don't worry, we got TiVo,
And then we said that last time too. It was like when you could start recording shows, that felt like,
oh my God, it was a game changer.
It was incredible.
Yeah. Oh man. What a time to be alive. Because I mean, what our generation has been through so much. I mean, I remember like tapes, I remember CDs, MP3s, like MP3 players, and like now we're on like full streaming. And then like my parents growing up had vinyls and all that. Just like how the technology has gone crazier and crazier and crazier every time. And like even with streaming for TV and games and that kind of stuff. I wonder what's going to be next, because people are starting to get sick of it, like all these different streaming apps and just trying to watch their favorite team. And it's not just us. I mean, I was trying to watch like the Tar Heels the other day, and I'm like, God dang, I got to have like four or five different apps or subscriptions just to catch every game if I wanted to watch them. So,
it feels like a pendulum. I feel like we move toward all these different streaming, and then it feels like it's going to swing back, and then they're going to drop up. You can get everything on this one thing, and it's like we're going to. But in terms of technology, it is pretty crazy. I was just thinking the other day, like when we have grandkids, right? We're gonna be telling them about like, there used to, even just this, like there used to be this big one computer that like we all shared in the house. They're gonna be like, what are you like that? Were the dinosaurs around, or like talking about like a cassette tape's gonna be like the 1800s. It's gonna be insane.
A landline telephone.
Answering the house phone.
Hey,
oh my God,
like, hey, Mrs. Whatever, is Connor there? Can
trying to organize like a hangout.
There's no.
Well, it's like if you ask a kid now, like under the age of 20, maybe, or maybe 15, you'd be like, hey, how do you pick up the phone, right? If we all say that, we're all going to do this, right?
Yeah.
A lot of other kids are going to do this.
It's crazy.
That's wild.
Yeah. So, well, and here's something that blew my mind the other day. We are like our 2000s are like what the 1980s were to us whenever we were little kids. So like our kids, like the kids that are growing up now, think the 2000s are what we thought the 1980s were, because it's like we're in 2026 now.
Yeah.
So that blew my mind, because like I love the 80s as a decade, and I obviously wasn't born in it, but I mean as a 90s kid, but just thinking about like how old I'm getting now, I'm having an existential crisis on the podcast. Like it's crazy, man.
No, I'm there with you. It's insane. I don't know.
I pulled my back twice in a month, and I don't get it. Sitting down at this desk, like on a Friday, I sat down at this desk and just, I don't get it.
Yeah, see, that's when you know when sitting down gets you. It's brutal.
Yeah, the dad grunts getting up. And we're in our mid-20s, and I'm like grunting, standing up. It's bad.
I've been doing that for years.
Yeah.
So tough. Well, I mean, listen, this has been great. If anyone has anything else they want to talk about or touch on before we hop off, we can.
I don't know, man. let's just say, all right, well, maybe we'll run a question on a percentage of 0 to 100. How confident are you that the Yankees will not win but make it to the World Series in 2026?
Wow. Connor, I'll let you go first.
Mm.
I'm going to give as real of an answer as I can as well.
I
Mm-hmm.
feel like make it to the postseason. I'm like 100,
Mm-hmm.
like very confident. Getting all the way through to the World Series, it drops significantly. Um, hmm. My mind is going to like 40, 50, or like 40%, which
Okay,
is still pretty high.
that's solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, but probably like 40%. I don't know if that's too high, but
I
I
don't
feel
know.
we're
We
going to
gotta see
be.
what Cap and I say. I mean, maybe you're way too high or way too low. We'll see if
Yeah,
you're an optimist.
I think I genuinely was right around the same, and I think it's impossible for me to remove my Yankee bias. Like
Mhm.
yeah.
it's just in there. I was honestly thinking 42%, and I know that that's crazy high, but my thing is that roster wise, if people play how we know they can play, if guys come back and they're healthy and they play how they can play, I think we can win the American League. So I don't
That's
know.
it.
I'm going.
We have so many players we can trade at the trade deadline. Like we can
I
really like bolster the squad.
Absolutely, dude. The talent is there. It's all about, like we said, performing in the postseason. If things go our way, we have the talent to do it. I don't think there's no reason to say that, because I remember Connor, your brother, had the hot take where he said like the Yankees can easily finish fourth in the AL East.
Yeah,
They can just as well make it back to the World Series. And I know the AL East is pretty stacked, but the talent is there. We can do it. I'm going 42% chance. We're going
I'm
back.
dropping mine down to 20.
No, no.
40 was way too high.
What did I
Jesus.
do?
40 was way too high.
Your optimism pissed him off, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, this
When I
guy,
heard him talking, and I was like, no, there's no way.
this
He's
guy
like,
don't know ball. I
he
gotta
agrees with
adjust
me.
my. Oh God. Okay. Well, I might piss you off more, I guess. So for me, I would say it does come down to what happens in the postseason. I 100% agree with you there. I think we have a great offensive squad. I think my biggest question mark in the season is if the pitching can perform after they come back from injury. It's going to take some time to shake the rust off for both Garrett Cole and Carlos Rodon. But if they can perform, we have an exciting young slate of pitchers coming up too. And if just one or two of those hit, that helps us a lot. The bullpen is always a question. Got to let Matt Blake cook. I think we've got some exciting pieces in there with Doval. I got clowned for saying Jake Bird's going to be good, but I do think he's going to be good. He's got great stuff. I think he can be unlocked and be our Tim Hill be like that kind of guy too. I think we have some great pieces, and since it is such a like a coin flip, let's just say I'm 50 on it. I'll say a 50% chance of making it there. So I will say just as easily as they can make it to the World Series, I will say they could just fizzle. I think they'll make it to the postseason. Like I'm 90% there.
Yeah.
But let's say they could fizzle out there, but I'm 50% that they can make it back to the World Series. Now the big thing is once they make it back to the World Series, it'll be can they keep the motors chugging along? They can't die, So we'll see what the vibes say. And I know here in a week from now, we're all going to be screaming that the season's over whenever Aaron Judge strikes out in spring training. I love doing that, but I do overall think it's going to be a good season. So, but that may just be my optimism that's so sickening to everybody.
Is it crazy to say, like, I think the Dodgers, and granted, baseball can baseball, and they could, God knows what happens, but like their percentage to me, I'd literally give them like a 70% chance to be back in the World Series. Like, there's no reason for me to believe that anyone else, like they added the best closer in the game. I think
the Braves are going to be big this year against the Dodgers. And I mean, if you think about it, I mean, we had a better record last year than the Dodgers too. They had a lot of injuries. So injuries plays a big part. they signed a lot of stars, so that means they have a lot of aging players who are stars as well. So I mean
Yeah.
that breeds injuries too. So they could, I think they're going to definitely win their division. They're definitely going to make the postseason. They have too much talent not to, but we've seen them get beat out by teams in
I
the
hope they
past.
do. I
So
really hope they do.
yeah, and I mean, let's say even if it's like a team like the Mets that beats them out, I'll be like, "Hey, thanks, Mets. You're great. Now you can lose. You can lose in the next round or whatever." But I love hate watching the Dodgers now. I will say that,
Mhm.
which makes me feel so hypocritical as a Yankee fan. But uh, yeah, and if we face them again in 2026, I'm going to be just as optimistic. Like, hey, I think we can do this. Even if the world says we can't, I'll just say if things go right, I think we can. So
Absolutely.
What are your guys' dream World Series matchups? Like, I think my dream would be Yankees Phillies.
ooh,
I'd love our
I mean,
2009.
just seeing like Schwarby and Harper get another shot at it, and seeing them kind of finally make it to the World Series, a rematch of '09. I think that would be.
That'd be a lot of passionate fans too, because Philly
Oh yeah,
fans aren't to be messed with, and I think Yankee fans are the most passionate. So that'd be a lot of fun fan base wise.
yeah,
If I could guarantee the Yankees win, my dream matchup is a rematch with the Dodgers. I like it because I don't want to say it's my dream matchup and then we just lose again. That would be devastating because then obviously that's not. But if I could guarantee a win, I'd love to take care of the Dodgers this time. A Subway Series World Series would be there'd
that'd
be
be fun.
that'd
basically
be
a
huge
civil
too.
war. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, man, y'all just talked about all the good choices there. I mean, because from a fan perspective, you're like, okay, well, like, yeah, the Phillies, that fan base. I mean,
Mhm.
and then with the Yankees, are a rematch of 2009. I mean, Bryce Harper finally getting there too, and then with Schwarber, I mean, that would be complete dynamite. And then you have the Yankees finally facing that. So me as a selfish Yankee fan, I want to prove that we can beat them.
Mhm.
Right, I want to be the team that can take down the Dodgers,
Absolutely.
and then with the Mets and what they've built over there, and then I think all Yankee fans are still, even if they claim not to be, are kind of reeling still from that Soto deal and how that all happened. That would be a war of the Yankees and the Mets and the greatest city. So man, those are all great. I guess I'll have to say Yankees Dodgers myself because I want to prove that we can beat them because that'll
Mhm.
help my ego personally. But I think what would be good for baseball would be maybe something more closer to like Yankees Phillies or Yankees Mets.
Agreed.
Mm.
That would be amazing.
Yep.
Let's listen. You heard it here first. We're gonna get one of those three matchups in 2026.
Yeah.
Um,
Place your bets, everybody.
Yeah,
yeah,
put all your money on it.
put next month's rent on it. And yeah, I mean, let's go Yankees. And Jacob, thank you very much for hopping on. We'll definitely
Yeah,
have to
thank
have
you.
you on kind of as the season goes on. We'll have you back on. And but great chopping it up with you, of course.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. It was fantastic. It was great getting to talk with you guys. I know just being in a group chat and stuff can get to talk
Mhm.
on X and all that is all fun and everything, but it's good to actually hear some voices and see some smiling faces. So yeah, anytime you want to have me back, it was fantastic. Yeah, it was a pleasure being on.
Absolutely. Let's end it with a let's go Yanks.
All right, let's go Yanks.